You can talk to God anytime, and God hears you, but maybe you will not understand what God has to say in return. Not every time. So you have to keep talking. And I think the master said something like, I will paraphrase, that if you keep asking, it's like nagging a mother for milk or something, and eventually the mother will become upset and will give you what you want. Maybe it was the Rosicrucians that said this. Max Heindel, your father and I used to call him Max Heindel, Uncle Max. That maybe at the Rosicrucian Cosmo conception, they were saying, if you keep nagging God like a mother, she will just give you what you want, whether you need it or not is irrelevant, because if you don't need it, you will suffer, and then you will realize you don't need it. And if you need it, you will get it no matter what. So, but sometimes we think we need something, but really we only want something. So we're crying all the time. Come on, God, please help me, please. Give me an umbrella. I need an umbrella. No umbrella for you, because if you get wet next time, you will think more. So I'm going to help you. Which leads us to the next interesting point, that behind every pain and suffering, there's a blessing. I just read the Master was saying this, and it's interesting because it's difficult to find things about the Master in English. And I think a lot of people that are non-Bulgarian speaking esoteric Christians would be interested to hear what the Master has to say more and more. So there's two options. Learn Bulgarian, or for Bulgarians to make more of the books of the Master in English. And that would be good to have. There's more and more things written about the Master in English. But if I don't have to, if there aren't too many more, then I will have to learn to start reading in Bulgarian, which I don't do much. I only have my favorite book for now is my personal Bulgarian learning book, which is about 12 years old. And I actually took some pages from a Bulgarian language book, and I pasted the pages on top of the natural pages of the book. And this is very helpful, but it hurts my head to learn Bulgarian. It's very difficult to learn Bulgarian, so I'm only looking at this book for maybe 20 or 30 minutes at the most, and then I'm resting. And it's probably a very stupid way to learn Bulgarian, because it's not extremely organized. It's kind of, it's not disorganized, but it's not very organized either. Better to take a class and learn Bulgarian. This goes beyond my imagination. I cannot imagine how interesting that would be, because then you could read all day long. The only option for me, I think, is to learn Bulgarian very well. But I'm lucky. I had a personal teacher who told me about the Master all the time. So it was. Others don't have this opportunity. Others need to see the lectures translated, or they need to learn Bulgarian, which probably won't happen as much, because it's much more difficult to learn the language. It's much easier just to see the language in German or French, to see the lectures in German or French or Chinese or whatever. But to learn Bulgarian just to read the lectures, I'm not even doing this because it's so difficult. Well, I think it's important. I think it's important because esoteric Christianity is something that the West or non-Bulgarian speakers in general would benefit from. And I can tell you this because I have benefited from it from my own personal perspective. It's important. It helped me. I think others can benefit from this, especially if it's the truth about life. If Bianza Duna is talking the truth, which I think he is, it will be necessary for some people to access this information. So the sooner the better. And it would be good to have translations as soon as possible. And it's a big work. It's a very big work. How is this going to happen? Of course it's important. It's very important. If Bulgarians have the mission to teach other people in other lands, it's very, very important to have the material to do this. Is the device in this particular case, unless you're able to learn from from your third eye, there's not too many other chances. Or unless you have a personal teacher that I had since 1992, but I'm a rare case in the world. I lived with Simiancho, my best friend, for 8 years, and for 24 years, he's always talking about the master. So it's like having a live-in tape recorder, or I don't know, something like that. But most people will not have this lucky chance. So yes, I think so. Especially if Bulgarians have the mission to teach other people around the world, this would be very, very helpful. How else are you going to do this? You can speak in videos, but then that has to have subtitles. That's also difficult, but it's the same thing. Videos with subtitles or books, which are written in a person's native language, like French, English, German. I think that's why so many people like Mikhail Ivanov, because Omar Mikhail Ivanov, his books are translated in German, French, and English. So a lot of people can read and access what the master was saying through him. Of course, it's better just to read what the master was saying, I think. So let's hurry up and do that. Yay! Amen.